Welcome back everyone to another episode here on Eat Sleep Brief, and this week we're going to be showing you guys how I cycle this water box 180.5 using Dr. Tim's One and Only. Now, I have to be honest with you, I've never used this product. I've heard some good stuff, I've heard some bad stuff. I mean, as with any product, you'll hear mixed reviews. Luckily, it's been a lot more good than bad, and honestly, it's something that has intrigued me because they claim you can cycle a tank in as quick as 9 days. Why not put that to the test? So what I'm gonna be doing in this video, guys, I wanna give you guys a day-by-day record where you guys can watch someone go through a fishless tank cycle, and you can track every single day with the results, with what I'm doing, and maybe you can adopt some of what you see here today. This whole cycle is gonna be done exactly by the book as shown on Dr. Tim's fishless cycling recipe for success. I'm gonna again do it as he states. Why? Because I wanna see if you actually follow the directions, if you can really get a tank cycled in 9 days. If I can get it cycled within the 13 days, honestly, I'm gonna be pretty amazed. Another thing I'm also gonna be doing is, if you guys ever saw the video I did on my big misconception I personally had on cycling, where I covered Dr. Tim's video he had at MACNA that I think BRS uploaded, I'm gonna be using everything he also recommended in there based on his recipe for success. So one of those things is running the temperature at 85 degrees. I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but that allows the bacteria to multiply quicker. And number two, we're gonna run the salinity at 0.015. Again, the bacteria is able to also reproduce quicker. Again, I don't want to talk about the details. If you guys want to hear a little bit more details, you can check out my video, or you could also check out the video Dr. Tim's did at MACNA, which, trust me, you're gonna have a lot of information. We have a lot of content to cover. This is gonna be a way you guys can follow along and see if we can actually cycle a tank in 9 days. Let's get right to it. Make sure you fully shake this before using it. I've got some in here already. I've already measured it out. And then add the next batch. One of these capfuls translates to 10 gallons of water. If you overdose it, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. So what I'm gonna do now is let this come up to temperature, because again, this was in the fridge, and once it comes up to temperature, we'll be able to add it to the tank. It should have had enough time to temperature acclimate. There we go. In this clear container, you can really see the importance of why you really have to shake this stuff very well. So we're gonna have to make sure it's fully mixed, and then we can add it to the tank. So I'm gonna try my best to have the bacteria, or at least when I put it, have it be over, as best I can, over the substrate versus the rock. Just because obviously the substrate is a lot more for the bacteria to grab onto. If you notice, I've also shut off the flow. Everything's off, return pump, everything, to give the bacteria enough time to settle onto the bottom. You can see it still suspended on the top of the water column. It's also very important that I've mentioned before that your skimmer's off. There's no other mechanical filtration, so we're gonna have to remove the sock. There we go, that should be good. So I'm gonna leave the flow off for about another 30 to 40 minutes, just to hopefully give the bacteria enough time to settle. And then after that, we will start the system, and we'll also be able to add the ammonium chloride to get the whole process started. I have all the ammonium chloride here measured out. Here goes ammonia. There we go. That actually begins the cycle. Day 2, 24 hours after adding the ammonia. Let's see what the test results are. Per Dr. Tim's recipe, we're supposed to test ammonia, nitrate, and pH. I've already done pH. pH was well within the range. So next we have ammonia. Now just wait 5 minutes. While that one is completing, we'll do the nitrite as well. The colors can sometimes be a little bit interesting. I notice on camera it actually looks greener than it does in person, but here in person it matches right to 0.50. So per Dr. Tim's recommendation, as long as you're not above 2 ppm, which we're not, if you are, you'd have to do a quick water change to lower the ammonia. If not, it's going to stall the cycle. But 0.50, we are good to go as far as that's concerned. For the nitrite, as you can see, there's 0 ppm present. It's still the same color blue as the color card. So that should be good to go. I'll jot these numbers down. If you have the Dr. Tim's card, you can write down the card. Personally, I'm just going to write down on a piece of paper. Today is day 3 of the cycle, and per Dr. Tim's recipe, we're supposed to add the same dosage we added on day 1. So just follow the directions on the ammonium chloride bottle and add as directed. Add it to a good flow area. Day number 4 of the cycle. Today we had no ammonia, just perform tests and record the results. Ammonia result compared to the chart is at about 1 ppm. Nitrite compared to the chart is still at 0. Day 5, I haven't noticed anything too different as far as buildup, neither on the sand nor on the glass. Let's go see what the results are. Nitrite, as far as I can tell, still not detectable. For ammonia, for sure again at 1 ppm. Day 6, still don't really see anything on the sand bed. It still looks pretty much the same. The rock and also the glass still looks the same as far as I can see. For day 6, they really don't tell you to do any measuring, but I did it anyway. It doesn't take that long. From what I can see, the ammonia is still at 1 ppm, and for the nitrite, I still see it blue. I don't see any hint of purple. Generally, as you start seeing more of the nitrite, for the API, you'll see a little bit more purple, but yeah, still not seeing any. So now that I'm happy with the results, ammonia isn't too high, I'm going to go ahead and add the recommended dosage of ammonium chloride. Getting close. Today is day number 7. Sand is looking the same. I know the lights are off, but you can trust me for that. Sand is looking the same, glass is looking the same. I see no buildup of anything. Obviously the lights have been off the days you've seen them on. I only turn them on for the video, but the lights are always off. So yeah, I haven't noticed anything different in the substrate, any film on the rock or any film on the glass. Let's go see what our ammonia and nitrite is. Today I actually added something separate in the mix that I don't even think Dr. Tim recommends on his card. Ammonia today is roughly about 1.5. Nitrite, I'm actually starting to see it change very slightly, but I don't know. I honestly forgot where I read this. I can almost swear it was Dr. Tim that said this, but he said in some scenarios you may not even measure nitrite. And that's because the bacteria is doing its job. So you may think the cycle's not doing anything, such as I was. But if you measure nitrate, you'll certainly see it's being converted. I know the colors don't match up that well on camera, but trust me, it's 25 ppm of nitrate. So that tells me, even though I'm not reading nitrite, it's a good thing. It means it's actually converting it very quickly and it's transferring it to nitrate. Of course, the cycle is not yet done, but I'm really happy with what I'm seeing here today on day number 7. Day number 8 has come upon us already. I almost can't believe we're almost 10 days into the cycle. Nothing on the sand bed, nothing on the rock, nothing on the glass. Ammonia today is actually looking a lot closer to probably 2 ppm to 1.5 ppm. It's a little bit difficult to see. And for sure on nitrite, I'm actually able to see there is a slight hint of it in there. I want to say yesterday, day 7, was very much like this color. So yesterday I probably misread the color chart. After looking at it a little bit more detail, it actually does have about 0.25 of nitrite. I won't be doing the nitrate test today just because I clearly know it's there and it's going to be building up over time. The good news is, yes, we are for sure. I want to say yesterday, day 7, I was already seeing nitrite. It was just my mistake for misreading the color chart. And you can see with the ammonia, we're roughly hovering about 1.5 to 2 ppm. Day 9 of the cycle, still nothing noticeable on glass, sandbed, or rock. I actually put the skimmer online, I want to say yesterday or the day before yesterday, and it's actually starting to pull out skim a little bit, so that should be a good sign if you ask me. Figured as we wait here for the results, we talk a little bit about the cycling and where we're at, again using Dr. Tim's one and only. Per the chart, as you can see, it's saying on day 9, generally speaking, if your levels are below 0.5 on either or on both of ammonia and nitrite, you can actually go ahead and add fish, because pretty much within the next few hours the ammonia or nitrite should hit 0 after that. And then you at least know that your bacteria is able to process the ammonia that's in the water. And after that, you don't need to be adding more ammonia, because when you add the fish, between the fish peeing and pooping, as well as the uneaten food breaking down, that'll be an ammonia source for the bacteria. It's also important you understand that if either of these are not below those levels, you don't freak out. This is where you really get to test your patience in reef keeping, and know that don't go crazy. This is bacteria, this is a reef tank. Every tank is different. Every bacteria may react differently based on your rocks, based on your sand, based on your water, based on so many variables. From what I'm seeing now, it looks like the ammonia is going to be a little bit higher than I'd like, at least that I'd like to add fish. So again, only because the chart is telling me that by today it should be lower. Even though mine's not, guess what? Don't freak out. Give it a few more days. Within probably 2, 3, 4, even 4 days, you'll surely be able to see the ammonia coming down. One thing I can tell you, there's about a minute left in the test, and I can for sure see it's not as dark as it was yesterday. It's a lot closer to the 1, maybe even in between the 0.5 and the 1. Again, on camera it looks a little bit different. No, you know what? It's for sure 1 as far as I can see. That's a good thing. From yesterday, it's actually come down. So I predict, based on the way it's slowly been dropping, probably another 1 to 2 days, we'll see this be way below 0.5. It should be between 0.25 and 0. And for sure, the nitrite looks to be just like it was yesterday and the day before on day 7, which is about 0.25. But the good sign is for sure the ammonia is dropping. Day number 10, sandbed. Still looks good as far as I can see. I see no signs of diatoms. Rock, nothing. No sorts of algae at all. And the glass is still as clear as it was from the first day. I do notice a little bit more skimmate, and you guys can actually see it. I also noticed the skimmer itself doing a lot less micro bubbles, at least outside of the skimmer, which leads me to believe that it's breaking in, it's getting the biofilm, and all in all, a very good sign. The ammonia for sure has come down. It's been coming down quite a bit. Today it's about 1 ppm. It's maybe a little bit lighter, but we'll round up and call it 1 ppm. The nitrite has been hovering at a good 0.25. It's been holding solid there, so no issues there. Based on how these values are decreasing, this one isn't worrying me too much. The main culprit for not being able to add fish in any scenario would be the ammonia. You generally don't want it any higher than 0.25, and right now I would call it 1.0. So I'm projecting it's probably going to take about 2 more days to get this one down. Day number 11 is here, guys. If you guys remember yesterday, we really didn't have too much change in the tank. I still can't notice any difference in the sandbed as far as a diatom bloom or some sort of algae. I also don't notice anything on the rock. It's a little bit difficult to see it on the rock because it's already colored up. But generally speaking, you'll see it on the glass itself, but there's absolutely nothing I've been able to see on the glass. One thing I've also started to do today, and I can kind of see remnants of it, but I've actually started to ghost feed the tank. Why? Because I won't have fish ready for this tank. The quarantine is going to be a 30-day period. I'm not going to have them ready. They're going to be about a few weeks late. So I figured I'd actually start feeding them. But let's see what the test results are for today. So here you get a visual representation of the card. Like I said yesterday, I really didn't notice a change. The good news is we are on day 11. If you look at the chart, it says you can add fish on day 9 if your levels are below 0.5. But actually, or I think 0.25, I may be wrong on that. But day 11 and 12 is generally when the tank should cycle. And guess what? I'm actually pretty excited today. We are officially at 0.5 of ammonia, which, yes, I get it. It's not yet at 0, but it's a lot better than it was obviously yesterday, day number 10. So I can honestly say we'll probably be cycled by day 12 or 13. We're only going to be behind by 1 or 2 days, which is great as far as I'm concerned. Nitrite is still at about 0.25, which is good. It just means the ammonia is converting it to nitrite, and then from there we're obviously getting nitrate. I'm not going to worry about nitrate yet. Why? Because I still see ammonia present. And I still see nitrite present, so they're still going to be going through the stages from ammonia to nitrite and from nitrite to nitrate. But like I said, I'm very happy. I'm not complaining. We're on day 11. I can almost guarantee, based on these readings and how quickly it's been dropping, that by either day 12 or day 13 we will be ready, which means we'll actually be able to do the first water change on day 14. Day 12 of this cycle, everything still looks normal as far as I can see inside the tank. Still nothing on the sand bed. I don't see any sort of browning or diatoms. It looks like it may be wanting to come out, but I think it's just the way the light's hitting it. The rock's still good, the power head, the glass. Let's see what our results are for today. So day 12, according to our time card, says enjoy your tank. Great news. Ammonia is almost to zero. It's a little bit lighter than 0.25. I can almost guarantee that by tomorrow it's going to be at 0. So that's going to be fine. Nitrite, I would say it's under 0.25 from what I can see to the color. It's not quite what 0 would be. It's just slightly higher. But again, it's a perfect representation as it's converting ammonia, nitrite. And then once these zero out, we'll probably do a nitrate test just to see what that is. Day 13 is here. We're almost done, at least based on the chart. Tomorrow's day 14, and they suggest to do a water change, again, based on the chart. I don't know, I kind of can see a little bit different tones on the sand. It's very difficult to see. I don't know if it's the way the light's hitting it. You could see some of it there. I don't know if it's the light. It's very difficult to tell. The rock itself, as far as I can see, looks the same. Then again, this is rock that's already purple, so it's very difficult to tell if it's changed any color whatsoever. Power heads, sometimes you can notice algae buildup or diatoms or anything. I don't notice anything on the power head. I still notice nothing on the glass. I actually put my hand in the sump yesterday. I forgot what I was moving, and I can feel like not slimy, but I can certainly feel a film on the inside of the sump itself. That's obviously bacteria of some sort. Good. I wouldn't say it's bad. It seems perfectly normal. Skimmer, I've been messing with the tune. I don't expect it to be pulling much out. Although I have been noticing on the top where it foams, it's actually quite a bit more yellow now than it normally has been. You'd think on the equipment that's white, you'd be able to see something. I don't see much of anything. Let's go look what the test results actually show us. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Very happy today. On day number 13 on the chart, it states for you to test. I can say we have no more ammonia present in the tank. I'm so excited. It's actually really cool that we've been able to follow along in pretty much as it states here, day 13. I mean, some of them will say that day 9 you can see it cycle, sometimes day 11 or 12. I guess my tank's a little bit slower than others, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Day 13, ammonia for sure is at 0. Nitrite, I would say it's not quite 0. It's not quite 0.25. It seems to be in the middle, which is good. It's actually what we might want to see. Now that there's no ammonia, this should be dropping within the next few days. Luckily, it's at a level that you can certainly add fish in. Of course, I don't have fish ready. They're being quarantined as we speak. But if you did have fish or you're not quarantining, you could by all means put the fish in already. In my scenarios, since I have no fish in there and I actually ran out of ammonium chloride, it's very important that you're ghost feeding the tank. Why? Because you want to keep the ammonia, in other words, the cycle going. You don't want it to, I don't think you could stall it at this point. You may have some bacterial die off, but I don't think it'd be a big thing. I have begun ghost feeding it. again till the fish are ready. But the great news, guys, you don't know how happy I am. We are cycled. Yes, yes, yes. And I don't know about you, but what, record time, 13 days? Hey, I'm not complaining. Day 14, let's go check what the results are. If you guys remember, we're already cycled, we're done. I just want to see what they are on day 14. We introduced a different test here. We have the nitrate. I'll set that one aside so we first talk about the others. Ammonia, just like yesterday, it's for sure 0. I actually added some more ammonium chloride, at least what was left of it yesterday. And sure enough, look at that. It's converting it into 0 like that. So that's good. I'm very happy with it. Nitrite. And I want to say it's actually probably been 0 for quite some time, probably since day 10 or 11. Again, just that's the thing with these API tests. In different light, may look a little different. It for sure doesn't have purple. It doesn't have purple. And generally speaking, when you see some purple in it, you can say that there is nitrite. So I may have been misreading it for the past few days. I guess you can take after day 10, 11, it was really interpreted probably as a 0. I did notice a very small hint, but again, it could be the way the light was hitting it. For today though, I can say for sure I went under a different lighting and it's 0. Now, if you look at the chart here by Dr. Tim's using his recipe for success, he tells you on day 14 to do a 25% water change. And honestly, I haven't even looked at the result, but I can see exactly why he's saying do 25 and not like a 5%. Can you guys see why? Just look, I mean, I'm not even looking over this thing and it's like red. It's, I would say it's probably, here, let's look at it together. Oh yeah, it's for sure, if not 100, very close to 100 ppm for nitrate. But based on this, we got to do a 25% water change. I'm not going to bore you guys on doing a water change because that's pretty self-explanatory. But yes, I'm going to do a water change. I feel comfortable from the days moving forward. I no longer have to use my nitrate or ammonia test kits. I can retire them, at least for this tank. They serve their purpose, maybe pass them on to another hobbyist. But yeah, I feel comfortable not having to use these anymore. Why? I added some more ammonium chloride yesterday. And look, it processed it, it's 0. Guess what? I'm happy with that. So I think you guys want to hear my final thoughts, my honest thoughts on Dr. Tim's one and only I am holding right here. Really guys, I don't even think I need to say anything. I really don't. I think based off what you are seeing here, what you've seen progress throughout the days, and how I've been able to, I don't think I've ever cycled a tank in 13 days. I mean, the results speak for themselves. I can tell you with certainty, this is a product, at the beginning, I'll be honest, I was a little bit skeptical on. I was like, come on, bacteria in a bottle, come on, nothing's going to cycle the way my mollies do. But guys, my molly method, I would not have cycled in 13 days. I can guarantee you that because why? I've done it in the past and they don't cycle in 13 days. So I can certainly say that not only is this stuff quick, as far as 13 days, you know, it may not be as quick as you guys might like, but it is quick. And as far as today goes, there's still no diatoms present anywhere and the tank is fully cycled. I'd love to hear what you guys think, what methods you use, and how many of you actually have used Dr. Tim's, and how long has it taken you to cycle a reef tank? So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below. I thank each and every one of you very much for watching. As always, happy reefing.